Some of my fondest gaming memories were made with Mario. Growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, Mario games were a staple of my childhood. The ones I remember playing the most are the Super Mario Advance titles. I loved these retellings of Mario 2, 3, and World. Even though they weren't retellings to me, I was experiencing these journeys for the first time. I even remember being able to play Mario 1 through the Game Boy's Super Mario Deluxe, though my attention might have been more on the minigames than anything else, and first encountered Mario 64 due to Super Mario 64 DS, again with the minigames. Hours were poured into playing and replaying these cartridges, and I don't regret a single one. Why? It's actually really simple. Of all the video games I had at the time, these Mario games were some of the ones I had the most fun playing, and that made me happy. But it's not just me. Mario has been a strong force in the gaming industry for longer than I've been alive. Argued by many to be the face of video games, looking at Mario now reminds us of many great adventures over multiple decades, and that never fails to put smiles on people's faces. But it goes deeper than that, and I'll explain what I mean in a bit. What I'm really trying to convey though is that, perhaps more than any other video game character, Mario can give us an instant feeling of genuine happiness. This is the case for me, and I'm sure for many, many others. I mean, there are even real-world theme parks based entirely on Mario now. Theme parks. Something basically synonymous with happiness and adventure. Now that's saying something. Mario makes millions around the world happy, and this isn't a coincidence. It doesn't just happen. This is a calculated effect done deliberately by its creators, achieved through combining many small, seemingly insignificant details which all play a role toward making Mario the one-of-a-kind character that he is. If you've ever played a Mario video game, you probably already know what you're doing when you grab the controller. Beyond moving the character, these games have only one other core action: jumping. Mario's jump is iconic, emblematic even. It takes an almost physical quality. It can be used to describe Mario just as much as his hat, mustache, or overalls can. His original name from the early days of arcade Donkey Kong was Jumpman. The Jumpman didn't even need a name, because jump was all he did. He jumped to clear barrels and reach the top of the level. It was that simple. It was later when he became Mario, but his essence as the Jumpman never left. The Jumpman eventually used his signature skill for much more. He started jumping to hit blocks, to defeat enemies, and to navigate platforms. The context in which the Jumpman was placed grew deeper and more complex, but his job remained the same: use the jump to move forward. Mario is the jump. He is the Jumpman. The action is synonymous with the character, and this is significant. Let's look at the very action of jumping. In our world, we jump to reach higher than we could simply standing. We jump to clear obstacles. We jump for joy when we're excited. These are all things with extreme positive connotations. So it's pretty clear, in this sense, that by association, the Jumpman would be a positive figure himself. Jumping is at its core a positive action, which is part of the reason why we see Mario as such a hero, an overwhelmingly positive figure with seemingly no limits. And it's why jumping in video games feels so right. But Mario was the one that started it all, and the one with whom we most commonly associate the action. Aside from the significance of a jump, even Mario's movement capabilities give us nothing but positive stimuli on even the most basic of levels, and in ways we don't even realize, unless we analyze the rhetoric behind why, in Mario games, things are the way they are. Let's look at Mario games in their most basic and perhaps most recognizable form: the 2D side-scrollers. Our objective in these games is to move forward, using our jump to clear obstacles and eventually reach a goal, a concept that should be familiar to you by now. In most 2D Mario games, once we progress, there is no turning back. We might be able to move backwards a little bit, but only until we reach a certain point. Then we face an impenetrable barrier on the left side of the screen. We literally can't regress in a Mario game. The very design of the levels push us really to only look forward. There's no looking back, only toward the future, toward the next goal. The key takeaway here, in addition to Mario being emblematic of the positive action of jumping, he's also using it to always move forward toward a positive goal. Sure, this is not unique to Mario, it's pretty much true of any 2D platforming character, but again, it's important to realize that Mario is the face of this video game genre that at its very essence encourages players to always push forward and overcome. It's not just the concepts behind what Mario does, but it can be as simple as looking at the little, seemingly insignificant details like the sounds he makes or the color of his clothes to give us more insight into why he never fails to lift our spirits. For example, the positivity surrounding Mario's movement and jumps is further bolstered by the sound design in many of his games. As Mario jumps, he makes a series of exclamations, full of energy and positivity. His audible woos and ha's are not only iconic, they are two sounds that we as humans commonly associate with expressing celebration, joy, and triumph. Woo is something we say when we're celebrating. We might say woohoo when something goes our way, and ha is an expression of laughter, an external expression of joy and happiness. It's also phonetically similar to aha, the exclamation we make when we finally figure something out, conquer a problem, and triumph over a steady obstacle. It's no mistake or coincidence that these highly positive sounds are what we hear from Mario in his games, all delivered with a tone that's filled to the brim with energy. Again, this is something we might not think twice about, but it plays a huge role in making this character who he is. Mario might have a bunch of alt colors in Smash, but red is the one we all commonly associate with him. It's the color of his shirt and cap. I didn't realize it until now, but pretty much 50% of Mario is also blue, though I always associate him with red. Maybe it's because his red cap and the shirt on the upper part of his body draws our eyes first. Either way, getting back to the main point, Mario's association with the color red is significant too. According to common color theory, red is a warm color, and one of the ones associated with strong emotions. Though it is frequently used to signify anger or warning, it's also noted that red is the most contradictory of colors, as it just as well represents power, excitement, and positive energy. It's vibrant, stimulates our brain, and signals us to act. It conveys strength and dominance, and is a color often associated with heroes, which makes it absolutely perfect for Mario, the quintessential video game hero. It's no coincidence that Mario is dressed in one of the most powerful and energizing colors. Now, analyzing Mr. Red Jumpman's actions and physical characteristics is one thing, but we also have to analyze the context in which he's consistently placed. When it comes to game development and any type of media that uses the character Mario, Nintendo is really careful with maintaining a positive image. I love looking at his 3D games as an example of this. The first, Mario 64, is set in a vast world filled with cute little characters and bubbly, fun music. There's a warmth to Mario 64's game world. It's a place where we're able to enter worlds inside of paintings. A childhood fantasy where we can explore our imaginations and enter new worlds. And these worlds, for the most part, are welcoming. Sure, some enemy characters might step in your way, but they usually turn out to be something like a crown-wearing bomb with some of the goofiest dialogue in the whole game, who literally tells you how to defeat him. Or big, slow bricks with dumb, goofy smiles, making weird noises that fall flat on their face when trying to stop you. At the end of the day, it's all fun and lighthearted, and this continues through the rest of the series. Speaking of warmth, Mario's next fully 3D game was Super Mario Sunshine. Sunshine, a word literally associated with brightness and warmth. The entire thing is set on a tropical vacation paradise where the sun never ceases to shine. Doesn't really get happier than that. Then comes Super Mario Galaxy, in which, through Mario, we get to experience the awe and wonder of outer space. Nothing encapsulates the feeling of Super Mario Galaxy better, in my opinion, than the original game's box art. Look at Mario soaring elegantly through the cosmos on the cover here, with outstretched arms flying through this vast expanse seemingly effortlessly. And look at this smile. It's extremely deliberate. Looking at this cover art, how do you not get a good feeling? And this carries through to the more modern titles as well. His latest new adventure, it's titled Odyssey, a word that doesn't just signify an adventure or trip, but an adventure or trip at a grand scale, a journey worth celebrating. And I'd argue that Odyssey itself is a celebratory title, celebrating the legacy of the plumber through a series of tributes and callbacks. Anyone who's played this scene in New Donk City knows exactly what I mean. I've heard time and time again from people who've played Odyssey stating, "I had a smile on my face the whole way through," and that's exactly how I felt too. Look even at one of his most recent new outings, Bowser's Fury. When Mario is pitted against the massive, dark Fury Bowser, which is absolutely a dark and frightening concept, the nightmarish figure is completely de-escalated by the silly juxtaposition of Mario turning into a giant yellow lion to fight him. It's completely ridiculous and takes the emphasis off of Fury Bowser being scary. Fury Bowser's pursuit of Mario is probably the most dark the series has ever been, but Mario's transformation is important here because it takes the edge off. It had to be this way. If it's Mario, it has to be silly and fun. Even look at some of the spin-offs. The game titles alone are significant. Mario Party, Mario Sports, like tennis, golf, and baseball, and even Mario Kart. Parties, sporting events, even kart racing. These are all things, concepts that our society commonly associates with fun, enjoyment, and leisure. People tend to enjoy these activities, and they make many people happy. When you think about it this way, why wouldn't Mario be doing them? He is Mr. Happy after all. And to further prove this point, there are certain games where the vibe is just a little too different. Here's an example. A game in the Mario universe famous for the very absence of Mario. The Luigi's Mansion series is spooky, dark, and dreary. While it's still filled with charm and humor, its settings and concepts are not suitable for our traditional hero. Luigi's Mansion simply couldn't star Mario. If it was going to be set in the Mushroom Kingdom, it had to feature another character. And this ended up being Luigi. Luigi, being the slightly awkward and less glamorous brother, he was the better fit for a Haunted Mansion game. Mario has a specific image to uphold, and setting him as the hero in a dark and gloomy setting just wouldn't mix with the essence of the character. Plus, in Luigi's Mansion, there's no jump. Well, until this move from 3. How could we have the Jump Man in a game without a jump? It was never going to work. Therefore, it was made so that in these games, you save Mario. He only appears at the happy ending. Again, signaling to our brains in the most basic of fashions. Mario equals happy. Have you ever seen a Mario game without a happy ending? No, you haven't, and you probably never will. But this is for the best. I always enjoy kicking back with an old favorite Mario game from time to time, and there aren't many things I look forward to more than when a new Mario game releases. Why? It goes back to what I said at the start and throughout the entire video. They make me happy. They make all of us happy. And I hope today you enjoyed exploring with me just some of the reasons why Nintendo's poster child is one of the most powerful sources of joy in all of video games.